Good afternoon. Welcome to my pandemic end of year planning webinar, and thank you all for joining. The intent of our presentation here today is to discuss tips for small business owners and those that want to start small businesses to really consider as you close out your year. Ultimately, running a business takes all of our time. It's a 24/7 job, and we very rarely get a lot of downtime. But I wanted to remind you all here at the most wonderful time of year that there are some things you should do to close out your year and prepare for 2021. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to tell you about my firm, NBK Financial Services, and then we'll roll through the year-end checklist and discuss next steps. About us, NBK Financial Services was established in 2009, and the intent of the organization originally was really focused on tax preparation services for individuals and families. Since then, not only have our services grown, but our industries have grown, and we now cover tax preparation, tax advisory, payroll processing, management consulting, organizational design and setup, as well as retail website setups and special projects. We encompass the technology industry, logistics, consulting, manufacturing, landscaping, personal services, is considering like estheticians and hairstylists, financial services and advisors, as well as nonprofits. And you all may be wondering, what's your background? What made you decide to get into this field? My undergraduate education was in mathematics, and I went back to business school to round out my education studying mathematical risk management. I also annually complete over 150 hours of webinars on IRS code, tax updates, and just ensuring that I'm up to speed on what's going on. As you know, our laws and regulations change often, at least annually. So it is important for me to be up to speed on what's going on in the industry and how it impacts small business owners such as yourself. The first thing I'm going to talk about on our year-end checklist is incorporating. So oftentimes starting a small business, you could very well be a sole proprietor who is working independently or with partners, but you haven't gone through the steps to incorporate your business. If you are a sole proprietor, there may be some strategic advantages to incorporating your business, along with longevity and additional tax write-offs. There are various options you can consider: sole proprietorship, LLC, S Corp, and there are advantages and disadvantages to both. And I'd love to set up some time and discuss with you further if you need additional information on this. Next on our checklist is hiring your kids. If you have children, you can hire your children at a reasonable rate for up to $12,000 a year under the TCJA. I'm sorry. There may be tax changes coming under the new administration, so be sure to take advantage in 2020. These funds that you may or may not decide to pay your children directly are taxed at a much lower rate and can also be rolled into retirement plans for your kids. So something important to consider. The next item on our year-end checklist is gathering your documentation. This is probably one of the most important things that I see many small business owners missing out on when it comes time to complete your taxes. Bank statements. Some banks only store 12 months of your statements online. Make sure you download them now. So when you go to complete your taxes at some time in the upcoming year, you have them at your fingertips. Create a file folder to capture all of your receipts. While as a tax professional, my desired method is not to get a shoebox worth of receipts during tax time. I understand that that may be the way that your business is managed. So please consider capturing all of those receipts so that every write-off can be considered. Consider using an online tool to track your purchases and capture receipts. There are many tools that will integrate with your bank and credit card accounts so that you're not having to manually keep up with this information or even download statements. This is something that can make your life much easier. And then that's a file that you can easily give to your business advisor or tax preparer at tax time. And employee contractor paperwork. W-2s and 1099s will be due in January. And keep in mind, there's been changes to how 1099s are now issued to contractors, but those are definitely expenses you're going to want to include as a write-off when completing your taxes. So please be sure to consider all of your employee expenses as well as any contractors that you've paid above the threshold to be sure that you get that information out timely. Next on our checklist is charitable giving. Did you receive a large tax bill in recent years? Charitable giving can make a significant difference in how much you owe. And one thing that I advise my clients on is if you have to consider giving your money to the IRS or giving your money to a donation of your choice, my recommendation would be to give it to a donation of your choice. This particular item is not specific to small business owners, but this is impactful for all taxpayers. So please keep this in mind. Anything that you give by December 31st, you can include on your taxes. And that's once again, whether you're a small business owner or not. So please, consider this item. If you're not sure where to give, I've listed some resources here that may be helpful. GiveWell looks at organizations based on administrative costs, so they can make recommendations on organizations based on how much goes back into the people that they're serving. Charity Navigator has also a very good input onto various nonprofit organizations and their purpose. And the IRS 501c3 lookup is an app that allows you to confirm if someone says, hey, please give to my organization, I'm a nonprofit, you can verify that information on your own. Next on our checklist is deferring income. When possible, consider shifting your December income into January. All of the income that you receive in December will count towards 2020. So it's important to consider if you can shift that to January, make that happen. As long as your finances allow you to defer that income, it's a very important consideration that you should take into account. Similarly, invest in your business. If you have purchases or investments you have planned for the future, why not make that purchase in December if you have the cash available? This will reduce your business's taxable income for 2020. So bring those purchases right on back right here at the end of the year. It's a great time if you need to, purchase a new laptop or get some other business equipment, office supplies. Make sure that you're getting those expenses in, because anything that you spend before the end of the year will also help reduce your overall tax bill. Retirement plan contributions. So this is something that I think is also very impactful for both individuals as well as small business owners. There are IRA contributions that are tax deductible through April 15th for 2020, but there are also several small business retirement plans that are available to you as a small business owner. Contributions to this plan for yourself and potentially your employees are tax deductible. We all want to retire one day. You need to start planning now. All right, pandemic style. So, of course, this year-end checklist is going to touch on items that is specific to 2020. And there are a lot of things to consider in the midst of the pandemic. You may have received unemployment income due to a downturn in your business earlier this year. You may have applied for PPP loans and or grants. And of course, the PPP loan forgiveness paperwork has deadlines as well as some requirements related to grants that have been received. Do not miss these deadlines for documentation requirements. This information has to be submitted in a timely manner to ensure that your grant remains a grant or that your forgiveness is granted. I'm happy to assist if you have any questions on this. And also, I've worked with many of my clients who have gotten assistance this year in helping them make sure that they are adhering to the guidelines for the money that they received. One important thing here to remember is to enjoy this time of year. It's the holidays. You want to spend time with your family and friends, those that mean the most to you. Once again, definitely take some downtime. While being a small business owner is for sure a 24/7 job, it's important to take time to rest, relax, reflect on what you've learned this year, on what's happened in your business, things you've done well, things you haven't done well, and really start planning for the upcoming year. But definitely take the time to focus on your friends and family and those who mean the most to you so that you can enjoy this time as well. So I'll go ahead and ask, based on the top items from this checklist, where do you stack up on the first eight? And I'm going to do a quick poll just to see where people land. And hopefully you all have a chance to complete this poll. I'll give you 1 or 2 more minutes to fill it out. Okay. Well, it looks like the consensus is less than 3, which is very helpful. And thank you for filling out the poll. But this brings us to the last item on our year-end checklist. If you are still missing out on some of the items that are listed here, or this is all new information to you as a small business owner, don't forget the last item on the list, which is hire a business advisor, which is me. Hi, I'm Melissa, your business advisor. This is also a very important part of owning a small business. There are a lot of reasons for hiring a business advisor. One of the main ones is that you're busy running your business. You know, whatever it is that you do, whether it's consulting, logistics, financial services, whatever the case may be, you're busy running your business. But there are a lot of things that are required in the background to keep your business going and to keep you compliant that are important. That's why having a business advisor is very critical to your success. I'll quickly touch on some of the options you have as it relates to having a business advisor. And our first package here is the Peace of Mind package. This includes monthly financial statements, bookkeeping, quarterly tax estimates provided if you decide to pay your taxes quarterly. It does include your annual business tax return preparation, along with up to 2 personal tax returns if you have a partner. You'll have access to a secure online portal to access all of your documentation, and we do provide weekly remote touch points to address any financial questions you have about previous expenses or upcoming decisions you need to make from a strategic perspective. The next package we have is the Business Clarity Package. This includes monthly financial statements, quarterly tax estimates provided, and also your annual business tax return is completed. You will also have access to the secure online portal for your documentation and 2 remote touch points each month to answer any questions you have, whether they be financial or strategic. And the third option we have is the Business Owner Relief Package. This does include quarterly financial statements along with quarterly tax estimates, access to the secure online portal, and remote touch points monthly to answer any financial or strategic questions that you want to address. And I just wanted to share this with you all because I've noticed in 2020, a lot of new businesses have started. A lot of people I know with small businesses have been very successful this year. And that it makes me so excited, and I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing in the small business marketplace. But with that into consideration, we want you to keep as much money as possible in your pocket. We don't want your business to skyrocket, and then of course, come tax time, you're writing a big check to the government. So please reach out to me or anyone on my team, and we'll be happy to work with you to get you started on a package. Now I'm going to open up for Q&A. If you have any questions, if you could type them in the Q&A box, and I will address them here live on the call. Okay, one of the questions I received is, do I need a CPA? The answer to that question is, it depends. So for the majority of small businesses and the work that they're doing, as well as for their tax preparation, a CPA is not required. There are instances with difficult asset purchases and long-term asset retainment that may require CPA advice. And I do have a network of CPAs and legal advisors that I work with to help answer those questions. Another question I have, how long do I need to be in business before I need a business advisor? The answer is any amount of time. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business. It doesn't matter if you haven't even started your business yet. It is very important to get with a business advisor to help answer some of those initial questions you have. And one thing I should point out as well is that many of the services that you see here that are shown on a monthly support basis are also available a la carte. So if you wanted to have a strategy session, if you are just looking for payroll processing or any of the other types of financial or back office support that you need, we're here to supply those needs for you. Okay, last question. How do I contact you? Well, here we go. My contact information is shown here. Our website is shown. My personal email address is melissa@mbkfinancialservices.com. And my phone number is 770-306-2386. I really look forward to speaking with you, and I'll be in touch after today's session to answer any outstanding questions you may have. Thank you all so much for joining, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.